What is going on? Welcome to episode 174 of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh, player 2 tonight. Mel, how you doing?
Pretty good.
Oh, wow. It's the best yet, guys. That is the best yet. All right? Don't let it be known. She's doing pretty good. That music you're listening to right now is On Being Human. You can check them out on Spotify and YouTube. This is an unofficial Nintendo podcast, and if you'd like to get yourself a free book from Audible, go to audibletrial.com/NPC. Pick up something awesome like Console Wars or Blood, Sweat, and Pixels. The chair I'm sitting in is from OP Seat. I love this chair. I love the desk, the OP Edge. Guys, if you go to n64josh.com/OPC, you automatically save $10 at checkout. They got so many rad colors. Go check them out. Great products. I highly recommend. Lastly, I do have a Patreon. If you want to get an extra podcast for just $1, go to patreon.com/n64josh. With that, we are going to get to our announcements.
Hey, listen!
Guys, I want to let you know that I have finished my book, Another Castle, and it's basically my journey with depression, disappointment, and how I found happiness, and it's all illustrated with Super Mario Brothers. So you can check out the first chapter for free if you go to n64josh.com/anothercastle, and there is an audio version and an ebook available, so you can check them both out if you'd like. We got Mario Golf tournaments happening on the 3DS. Now that things are going to slow down for me a little bit, I'll make sure that we get those coming in each week. The Mario Kart tournament is happening week in and week out. Just get into the Discord, ask around, like in the Mario Kart chat, like, hey, anybody want to do this right now? Maybe try to set up some times where a few people can race, because you'll have the most fun that way. And that's happening in the Discord, which is n64josh.com/Discord. We do have a Smash Bros tournament this Saturday. I don't know the exact time yet. I got to get those details worked out because I was out of town. You know, I'm just trying to pick up all the pieces and whatnot, so bear with me there. But we will be doing that, and the first prize will be a $20 eShop card, second prize 10, and third prize 5. So there you go. That's happening this Saturday. It will be live on my Twitch channel, probably in the evening, but I just got to get the exact time figured out. So you can go to n64josh.com/smash tournament. Once I get that all updated, you'll be able to sign up, and we'll be ready to rock and roll here very soon. We do this show live on twitch.tv/n64josh, 6:30 Pacific Standard Time on Tuesdays, 4:30 on Thursdays. And guys, if you want to check out my Twitch streams, they start at 3 p.m. Pacific, Monday through Thursday, and then most of the day Friday, starting with our first look. So there we go. That's our announcements. We're 3 minutes in. Hope that's not too long. Now we're going to start getting to the content. Let's do this thing. All right, Mel. You finally got to play a game you've been waiting to play for a very long time.
Yeah, like 3 years at this point, just about.
So 3 years?
Just about, yeah.
Wow. Okay. So I watched Nightcrawler play this in our room. I'm not completely sold on it. Not because it looks bad or anything like that. It's just, I don't know that I'm going to invest the time into it. So I want you to sell me on Wargroove, okay?
All right.
So what are you liking? What are you liking?
Well, if you ever played Advance Wars, it's pretty much a copy of it, but like in the best way possible. So in Advance Wars, you have to capture your map, and there's these little buildings. You want to capture those buildings so you can collect money each turn, and that's how you buy your units. Because in other strategy games, you know, you have your party already made, and you pick and select. Well, in this, you actually have to buy people. You can't level them up. It's how they are. It's what, you know, you get what you get. So looking around the map, you have to really think about your choices and how much to spend. Because, like, I can get, like, a knight, you know, but he might not be the best money option for me at that turn. I might have to wait another turn and such. But, yeah, it's pretty much a strategy game. And it has a very retro-ish vibe because it looks like it's made for, like, the Game Boy Advance. Like, the graphics, the music, all that fun stuff. It can be difficult if you're not used to this genre, but lucky for you, in this game, you can lower the difficulty anytime you want. So, like, if you're having trouble on a certain stage, you can lower it, and then you can advance to the next one. You can also come back, improve, later on. So, for me personally, these types of games, I can play all day without thinking about anything else. So I had to pretty much put time clocks on me to make me stop playing, because I would just blow through this thing like crazy.
Well, that's good. I mean, that's good. It sounds like this game kind of puts you in that flow state where time just goes super fast, and it seems like you're really loving it. So one, I've never played Advance Wars. Like, I remember some friends that played it and really, really, really loved it, and I'm like, oh, I should check this out, and I just kind of never got around to it. This genre of game is a genre I like. I think one of the things that's keeping me from getting really excited about it is the fact that it's set more in a fantasy world versus like a science fiction world or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, or even a futuristic versus something being so far in the past. Like, because I kind of wish there were tanks and helicopters and things like that,
Yeah, I felt like they didn't want to do that because that would be really on the nose for the Advance Wars. Yeah. Because they try different things, but they actually do a lot of things differently, and they kind of elevated the game. Because now, if Nintendo ever comes out with an Advance Wars, I'm going to be comparing it to this in the most positive way. Because usually it's the other way around. It's like, okay, you have an inspiration from this Nintendo game. Can you live up to it? But with this, I'm like, okay, Nintendo, you have to live up to this now. Because for this, you can make your own maps. Mm-hmm. You can cross-play with other platforms. You can, there's a little arcade mode, which is a mini campaign. It's 5 stages, and you get a new cutscene for your commander. And there's 12 to 13 different commanders. They all have their different grooves, fun stuff like that. Someone has a shield, someone can go twice, some of them have healing powers. So, you can mix and match your units and stuff. And this one has a puzzle mode, which some of them is beat this in 3 turns. So you have to really plan and think. There's ratings, the stars too. So there's things to come back to. And you can make your own campaigns too. I saw somebody, they made Caesar, which is a dog. They made a whole story about Caesar trying to take over these different lands because they weren't given enough pats and scratches to the dogs. It's hilarious, but I mean, it takes forever to make that stuff, but you can do that in this. So, absolutely loved it. I don't think I'm gonna do any multi online because I would probably time y'all out, but not on purpose. It's just that's how I play these things. Because I try to do the best move at every possible chance. So I'm looking at different angles and okay, do I need to buy this guy instead? I'm trying to plan 2 to 3 moves ahead. So unfortunately, if y'all looking to play with me, that's not gonna be likely.
Okay. All right. That's so. I was kind of wondering about that. So have you not played the multiplayer at all then?
I played one match with a random person.
Uh-huh.
It took a while, because this other random person was a similar play style to me. So, but again, you don't have to complete the match that when you start it. You can just do your turn and you can come back to it later, that kind of thing. Because it saves your moves and stuff.
I see. Okay. All right. Well, chat is saying just play it. Maybe one we need to do a first look on this week. We do have a handful of games for first look, by the way. So I don't know. hearing you say that you like literally are having to stop yourself from playing it because you're liking it so much, I'm like,
Oh yeah, my phone has like 6 alarms. It's like, hey, stupid, stop. No, really, stop this time. Hey, you have to eat. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's kind of important.
So, about how long do you think the campaign is?
Ooh. I'm in Act 3 currently, so I haven't completed it myself yet because I like to go for the highest rank and all the stars. And then I've been messing with the arcade modes too. So they're promising like 20 to 30 hours of single player stuff if you like to really invest yourself into this kind of stuff. And then you have endless if you go into multiplayer or you're making your own maps and campaigns and stuff. So there's a lot. And this is only $19.99 because they could have easily charged more, but it's probably better that they didn't. Because this is number 1 right now in the eShop.
Oh, wow.
And in 3 days, they made enough to break even. So whatever they're making now is just profit for them.
Love hearing that. That's great. That's great. So the next thing is, do I wait until they put out the physical version with limited run games?
Oh, they also announced they are fixing some stuff because there's little bits and problems. Like when you look at your units, some of them kind of look the same because their little icons are very similar looking. So they're going to fix that. They're going to fix some of the fog, speeding up the animations even faster because you can hold them down right now to speed them up, but it's kind of slow. And promising new DLC in the future with more on that later. So they're fixing stuff pretty fast and they're promising new stuff. So it looks like they're really going to go all in for supporting this Chucklefish.
Huh. Love it. Love it. Okay. Well, you're never going to guess what I played. Fitness boxing. That's right. I was sweating to the music and punching the air with fitness boxing. This game's been out for a little while now. We picked it up and it kind of sat unopened for a couple weeks, but now we my wife gave it a go while I was in Oakland at Genesis 6, and we got into we fired it up and did about a 40-minute workout with it today. And I gotta say, like, I actually enjoy working out with the game consoles. Like, I used to do the UFC trainer, that kind of stuff. We would do Wii Fit and all that kind of stuff. And this seems to be very similar to that. It's got a bunch of like top 40 pop songs, things like that, and you basically just punch in rhythm, more or less, and it does a pretty good job of tracking your movements. There were a few times that it was like, it misread, maybe read something a little earlier, a little late, but for the most part, it was it wasn't too bad. And it's interesting because it almost kind of feels like Dance Dance Revolution, but with your hands instead of your feet. And so overall, like if you're looking for a way just to kind of get some cardio in without having to go outside, this may be a good option for you. I would recommend it. Like, everything we tried, I enjoyed, and we did. You can just kind of do your workout together, or you can pass back and forth to where one person has to do the moves and then the other person does the moves, that kind of thing, just to kind of keep it going. Or you can actually, as you're doing the workout, you have little boxers that are actually going and kind of fighting each other. So you've got some variety there. It looks like if I set up another account on her Switch, I could track my progress and unlock stuff. So, which is pretty cool. But overall, if you're looking for a fitness game, I recommend it. Plumber is saying he played the demo, wasn't bad, but ARMS is a better workout though. So there you go. I think he's also looking for people to play ARMS with. So if you play ARMS, hop into the Discord at Plumber and let him know you wanna play some ARMS, because he's our resident ARMS player. So
do you see yourself going back to this, like doing like a routine, like weekly, daily?
I mean, my schedule's so nuts that like I'm trying to fit exercising into it regularly, and this is a good way to at least get some cardio, and we're both like, at the moment anyway, we both seem pretty motivated and want to keep doing it. So as long as schedule permits, it's something I would like to go back to. I mean, when I did the Xbox, like the UFC with Kinect, the UFC trainer or whatever, I think I probably did that for 6 to 9 months and actually got myself in really, really good shape. And so I know it's possible. And the other thing is with the fitness boxing is like, it's not just punching into the air. They do have you like ducking and blocking and things like that. So you're going to get in some of those, like you're basically gonna add squats into the mix and things like that. So there's really an opportunity here to get pretty good workouts. And so it's something I want to stick with, and maybe I'll post in the Discord and the fitness thing if I do. But it definitely was it made working out fun, which I think is important, because that's some people, it's just a struggle, right? To do anything to get cardio. And if you're into music like Maroon 5 or Lady Gaga or whatever,
I don't think you should have said Maroon 5 after this weekend.
Oh, I don't have any. I'm so out of touch. But the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I didn't even watch it. So
I didn't either, but you didn't have to.
Gotcha.
It's like one of those things.
I see. Gotcha. Okay. Well, if you're into, is it Carly Rae? Then, maybe that's your thing. I don't know. But anyway, overall, I recommend the game if you're looking for a way to burn some calories and be doing it with some Joy-Cons and playing on your Switch. So that's that. I think we're going to get to the news now. You ready?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. All right, so Kirby's Adventure and Super Mario Brothers 2 will be available this month for Nintendo Switch Online. But we didn't get as many games as Japan this time around, did we, Mel?
No. Again, second time in a row.
Interesting. So anyway, if you're a fan of Kirby and or Mario 2 for me, huge, just a massive game from my childhood. One of my favorites, and so I will. It's one I try to complete at least once a year. So. Oh,
see, I'm like that with 3.
Yeah, I always want, like, I never owned 3. For some reason, I don't know if it was just the timing of it or what, but I always had I had a pretty consistent group of friends that all had it, so I could always be borrowing it from one of them. So
I did that with plenty of stuff.
Yeah, so it worked out pretty good, but it was one of those ones I didn't beat Mario 3 till much later, like probably on my 3DS, like much later.
Well, at least you beat that one. We can forgive you.
Right. So, and I mean, there is a chance I beat it on All-Stars on Super Nintendo, but I just don't remember. But I would love firing up all those games. But yeah, Mario 2 will be here. And actually, it's funny, kind of a little off topic, but do you know the best version of Mario 3? Wait, I mean, at least in my opinion, or maybe you might agree. I don't know. We'll see.
No, I wouldn't be able to guess yours.
So, the one that's on the Game Boy Advance.
That's the one I was going to say, actually.
Yeah, see? There you go. It, like, we were playing it on Game Boy Advance the other, my wife found it at Value Village, and so every time he collects a mushroom, he's like, oh, that's what I needed, It's like, it's the best.
Did you get the e-reader and, like, use the cards? Because I didn't have one, but I had the cards, so I had to hunt down some kid to borrow it and just slash the cards through it.
So, okay, no, I didn't have, because I didn't even have it. I don't think I ever had that game until recently, like when the last couple years I got it. But I believe the summer before last, I got an e-reader, so I have one now. The hard part is coming across the cards. The cards are a little bit pricey, and so. But if you want to check out all those levels and you have a Wii U, when you purchase that version of the game on Wii U, they have it available on Wii U, you get all the levels. You don't have to have the e-reader for them.
Is it only the Wii U? Because I have the 3DS version as well.
It is only... Oh, wait, you have the 3DS version from being an ambassador?
Yeah. No, well, actually, I think it's the one you actually had to buy. I don't think it was an ambassador one, was it?
Well, the only Game Boy Advance games available on the 3DS were that I'm aware of were through the Ambassador program.
Oh, that one just must have been the NES version then for the 3DS, because I know I have it on 3DS.
Gotcha.
I don't think I have the Game Boy Advance one. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So those. Yeah. So that's the actual, Super Mario 3 Game Boy Advance or Mario Advance 2 or whatever how they're all, it's like,
yeah,
super
because I got that one on accident because they threw off the numbers. But I was like, you know what, I like this game, so it's good.
Well, that's good.
Good for me.
That's good. I have 3 of those 4. I don't have the Yoshi's Island.
That's the one I was missing too, because that's the one I actually wanted, but I didn't get until the 3DS ambassadors thing.
Oh, funny. Yeah. So, and it looks like, oh yeah. Someone from chat saying the 3DS ambassador one is the Yoshi story. So there you go. Interesting move from Xbox. The Xbox Live app will be on the Switch. The only thing that really was mentioned is improved crossplay and them kind of wanting people to be able to track achievements and all that stuff. So, I mean, it sounds like from the little bit of info we have, I can open my Switch and invite you to a game on my Xbox.
Yeah, that's something.
So I don't know, like this could mean a few different things though. It could mean if you are, this could mean a couple different things, but you may have to be an Xbox Live member in order to take advantage of some of these things. I don't know the logistics. We don't have all the details, but this could give us the ability to message people in game while they're playing their Switch, which we don't currently have. Now, you would more than likely have to be playing something like Rocket League or Fortnite. But there's a chance that if you both have Xbox Live and you send an Xbox Live message, that it would pop up on your screen while you're playing your Switch. So that, that right there could be an improvement. I'm speculating, of course, but I know that's something that's kind of been, maybe you're getting ready to play Smash, but you see, I see you're online, so I shoot you a message through the Switch now. I don't have to pull out a secondary app. I don't have to use Discord or whatever. Again, without like a chat pad or something, it's still not quite as convenient, but at least it's all happening in game, which I know some people really want that. So, what did you think when you saw this announcement? Were you shocked?
I was surprised because I read the headline like 3 times to make sure I read it correctly, and I did. So, yeah, I know a lot of people are thinking about bigger, grander things with this thing, but I'm just thinking it's mostly this crossplay stuff. I'm hoping maybe later on, they get really buddy, and they're like, hey, here's a couple of our games we can play, but that's like, I'm thinking like 0.1% chance of happening. That's my dream, because all this other stuff is not really useful for me, but I can see why it's a huge improvement. It's just very disappointing. We have to use another system's personal account thing just to message someone on our Switch, because that should have been in from the get-go kind of thing, you know? Just because
They're
it's like
protecting the children. No, they're protecting
like the Splatoon headset when we first saw that. It's like that, but like not as much of a mess, but it's still a mess. Because
Right.
it's still easy to go into your Xbox Live account and send something a message. But we shouldn't have. I'm glad that this is an option for people who can do this. It's just, again, we shouldn't have to do this way.
Yeah, at the very least, we should be able to send messages via the Switch app. You know, if
Like,
at the very least.
I should be able to click on my profile icon, have all of my friends listed, click on one of the pictures, and just say, like, hey, send a message. Like, they can have, like, predetermined, like, sentences typed out already.
Do you
we don't
wanna
have to type out
play?
anything. It's like, hey,
Right.
want to play
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. Just sending game invites, which I think there are certain games that do have that tied in, but I don't know. The whole system
That's
is kind of
built in from the system now. It's not built in from the Switch. Like Rocket League, you can do that for Rocket League. But that's also, again, built in from Rocket League. So.
Correct. Yeah. So, yeah, and it's like you said, there's a lot of people that are looking in, that are kind of reading into this and wondering, like, hey, could we see Battletoads? Could we see the rare replay? You know, that's the one I got tweeted at me a lot, was like, I want rare replay on. I mean, hey, I'm all about it, right? Like,
Oh, yeah,
look,
totally. Especially that has, like, what, 20 games in there?
30 games.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy.
Yeah, and a lot of them NES titles and 64 titles. So it would be a great game to have on the Switch. And I mean, there's nothing on there that couldn't be ran. And oh my gosh, it would be Perfect Dark. We would have Perfect Dark on the Switch. Are you kidding me? Now I want this more than ever. So, but again, this is pure speculation. I could see it making sense from a business side for Xbox to, like, you know, in a way kind of take that, like, almost kind of take the Sega route, not completely stop with their hardware because they still got that going. But I mean, man, getting more software sales, and especially since they have switched to the like Netflix model for their games. If they were out on the Switch, now you're still selling $60 games on a system that's more than likely going to surpass. It's going to surpass, or yeah, you know, it's
on
gonna,
track.
It's definitely on track. So, I mean, it would make sense business wise, and not to mention, like, just the whole crossplay thing, like a game like Rare Replay that has a number of multiplayer games already. That would be great to see make its way over, you know. Not to mention other games that, you know, Killer Instinct, things like that. Like, I would love, and somebody else was mentioning earlier in chat, Cuphead, you know,
That would have been one of mine. Or if they didn't cancel Scalebound, that would have been one of mine.
yeah, right, for sure. So who knows? We will know more March 18th through the 22nd. That's when GDC is taking place, and so we'll have more info then. On to other news. It's looking like we don't have the official numbers yet, but it's looking like combined sales of NES and SNES classics are likely to surpass the Wii U.
Oof, that's a big oof. I saw you typing that. I was like, no, that can't be it. Then I actually started thinking about it. I was like, yeah, that sounds right, actually.
Yeah. Now, obviously, this is worldwide. You know, like not just the States or anything like that. Worldwide. Wow. Like, the systems did very well. They did very well, and I still see a handful of them in stores, but they aren't going to be there much longer. So
I don't see the NES ones. I only see the Super NES ones now.
okay, Yeah, I've seen a few. So but yeah, they want, and every time I see them, I'm like, should I grab another one of these just to make sure I have, have one in the box. But they're fun little systems. My dad's been playing Punch Out and stuff. It's been cool. So, but just crazy that they did so well. Which then, like, why wouldn't they keep going? Like, why wouldn't they at the very least do the 64 and, possibly GameCube? But at this point, I think for me, I would almost rather see HD remakes of GameCube titles versus just a little mini classic system.
See, I'm biased because I want both. I want the little box and I want the remakes.
Right. Yeah, a little mini GameCube, I guess, now that you say it, like...
It has to be purple, though. It has to be the indigo. It can't be the black one.
Oh, they got to give us both, because I've always had the black one.
No, I always had the indigo. Because I remember my dad was like, he gave it to me for Christmas. He's like, I'm sorry, this is all they had. I was like, this is good. This is the actual one I wanted. He thought I was like lying. He's like, I can exchange. I'm like, no, this is exactly what I wanted. Little indigo. But, yeah.
So, that's crazy. We'll have to wait until all those numbers are out.
Officialized. But let's be honest, it's probably not too crazy. Because last time we did, 1 million, just like on the Super NES here, like last holiday season, pretty much. It did crazy.
Lastly here, we do have one other thing we're going to talk about because you're going to help kind of steer us in the right direction. But Darksiders War Master Edition will be available on the Switch April 2nd, both physical and digital. So this is a series I have very little time with. I've played a little bit of the first Darksiders. I believe I own it. I don't know. It may just be a digital thing from Xbox, but... I have played a little bit. The little bit I played, I enjoyed. But at the time, I was so invested in, I believe, Destiny that I didn't have time to play anything else. So this would be one that, some people really like this game. They compare it to Zelda. I think some people even prefer it to Zelda. So seems like it would be a good fit on the Switch. We then have to assume the second game will be here, and the third game did terrible, so it seems like this might be a road to help to help right some of those wrongs. So, did you play all the way through this first Darksiders?
I played the first two, yeah.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong, I didn't really enjoy these things, but there's not necessarily anything wrong with them. It's just kind of like there for me, because the combat is very God of War in the first game. And then you get these little puzzles, and some of them are pretty much ripped out of Zelda games, which again, It's fine. It's just the whole, mood, the environment didn't really grab me. And again, there's nothing wrong with the mood and the environment and the characters. It's just kind of one of those things I went through, had a good time, and I just kind of put it away and never really felt compelled to play it again. But it played well. You had your little level up system for your moves and such. There's some cool bosses. And I think it's going to do well, though, for some of these Switch people who only have Nintendo systems. Because again, it's still good to play through. And it's going to be $29.99. So they're not trying to go the full price. We're getting a pretty good price deal on this. I did like the first one more than the second one. The second one had this little loot system, which I'm not a big loot person fan. So again, yeah.
Gotcha.
And 3 came out last year, and literally nobody talks about it because. So again, if it can run, I'm thinking we're gonna get it. Just that's far in the distance because they're gonna give us a second one after this. Because I don't see this doing bad, especially at this price point, especially the type of game it is. And maybe it shouldn't come out in April because we kind of have a lot of things in April, but we'll see. We'll see how well it does.
Yeah, THQ Nordic has I don't know if you remember the exact number, but we talked about it last year, something like 29 games in development or something like that, or they're ready to publish, or they're going to be published. I don't remember the exact verbiage, but hey, bring it on. Like I was looking through putting away the games. I took a handful of games with me while I was traveling. And I was just kind of looking through the boxes, and I love the fact that I see, a lot of them say Nintendo, of course, right? But then I see Blizzard, and I see Bethesda, and I see THQ Nordic, and that kind of stuff. And it's like, I want to start seeing more of these titles. And I think, they are ports, but like you said, there's going to be some strictly Nintendo people that this is going to be their first time with this game. And I'm still holding on to hope that because THQ Nordic acquired the rights for Time Splitters, that we are going to see a Time Splitters trilogy out on the Switch. And that would be the first time Time Splitters 1 was on anything other than the PlayStation, I believe. There may have been a PC release that I'm unaware of, but
I think there may have been an arcade game too, but again, who has those?
Right. So because Time Splitters was the closest to GoldenEye of any shooter that was on the GameCube. So that's so it's funny, I played the second one there, but then the third one had, because of Xbox Live, had online multiplayer. That's where I had to go, because there was no online multiplayer.
You were just all over, man.
There was no online multiplayer for the GameCube. So of course I had to go that route, but fingers crossed that we just keep seeing some, because this is a good title.
I would say it's good.
I think people will be pleased that it's here. And for $30, it's good that they have the that they're taking the steps to not overcharge for this thing and have it come out at $60. I think. And again, a smart move.
You can have the retail box. So if you're a physical person who has to have it, it's there. Because for some of these lower price point games, it's only digital only, like Capcom. Okami's only digital only here. And I know that drew away some people, which is a shame, but again,
yeah, it's slowly going away. So the last thing I want to end on, we don't have it in the notes here, but there's been tons of talk. I've had people sending me tweets because Germany, the Nintendo's YouTube channel in Germany supposedly put up a bunch of private videos that had people losing their mind, and there were things that kind of pointed towards Animal Crossing, Mario Kart 8, Mario Odyssey, all this stuff. But it turns out that it wasn't quite as exciting as people had hoped. Can you kind of know what's going on here with this? Can you kind of break it down for us?
So every now and then Nintendo would private some videos, and in certain cases people would think, oh, it's a direct kind of thing, because especially now we don't have any kind of news for a direct, but on the off chance this is probably just them messing around with the videos, just trying to clean up a little bit, trying to organize some stuff, because one of the things I was messing around with was Yokai Watch. Who's gonna really be messing around with Yokai Watch? Yeah, the third game's coming out, but they're not gonna really promote that, because the third game's coming out in 3 days. And where's the advertisement you've seen for that? Come on. This is most likely just us looking for something that's not really there, because we're just really, really thirsty for some news. Because usually by now we had some stuff, but again, they just been kind of changing it up a little bit. They're not getting away from directs, because they reconfirmed they like the direct style in the last investors shareholders thing. It's just, I don't know, they've just been liking these Twitter drops lately. Before the show started, we had the NES games announcement.
Yeah, that and YouTube. They really have been pushing out YouTube stuff, but the I guess that I would just warn people hey, just keep those expectations at bay and be careful. There were so many clickbaity headlines and things like that of oh, here's new info, and and it's like, well, there really isn't any new info. Like, we still know the majority of the games that are coming out. We know the game that has been delayed indefinitely, and so here we are. And I mean, don't get me wrong, maybe part of the reason that we aren't seeing so much right now is because maybe Nintendo really wants to make E3 something really special, because I know they had to have heard the feedback that last year was too much Smash, right? Too much Smash, too much Pokemon, and not enough other stuff. And so, like, I'm wondering if that's why we're getting just kind of this drip feed, and then E3 will be just a little more hype, because we know the majority of the games that are coming out this year.
Oh, totally. We just don't have like any dates for them.
No.
Like, we literally only have Yoshi, and that's next month. So what is after next month? Because I don't think we're getting anything this month. It would have been like announced already by now. So that's kind of disappointing if you were like me and you had New Super Mario Brothers U Deluxe already, kind of. And then you have this month, you have nothing, and then you gotta wait for Yoshi, and you gotta hope you want Yoshi. In my case, I do, so it's not as bad.
Yeah.
But
I think this Yoshi's gonna be a million seller, just like Kirby was, honestly.
I don't know if it's gonna sell as fast as Kirby though. I think it may do a little faster, to be honest.
And the only reason I think that is just because of how well how good the last few games have been. I'm honestly surprised we're seeing Crafted World and not seeing Woolly World ported over, because Woolly World was so good and so few people got it on the Wii U, although they did port it to the 3DS.
3DS.
Yeah.
I think if they didn't do the 3DS port, we would have honestly got that. But I think they felt like this was good enough for the 3DS audience, which, again, it did okay. It's just a lot of these late ports for the 3DS isn't really doing so hot anymore. Like, they actually had to cut their forecast for the 3DS because they're like, oh, this is not what we expected. And that's not like the Switch, where them cutting it down and giving a new number is going to be okay for them, because for the Switch, they're going to easily hit the 17 million mark or whatever they announced. That's why they picked it. But this 3DS one, they might make it. So that's a little shaky. Mm-hmm. And that's a little concerning for them, because they wanted that as their backup, so second income feed. It's a hard situation to be in, because you can't really put new games out on it because people want them on the Switch too. But then you put all these old ports, which they're good games still. And there's a lot of people who haven't played them, but a lot of people want this new shiny system. So it's going to be interesting to see how they're going to move forward with this little problem they have.
Well, there's been rumors, right? This last week,
Mm-hmm.
Again, not in our notes, but something kind of just worth chatting about is the possibility of a new, smaller, less option Switch for this holiday. Basically, a Switch Mini, if you will, right? That's kind of the rumor, that Joy-Cons that won't detach. We could assume it's still docks, but we really don't know. We don't know. Again, this is Plumber in the chat called it Switch less. So, but what, like, and this, again, pure rumor. We're just kind of speculating right now. It seems like a good move, I think, to get all development focused on one system. At the same time, with so many third parties on board and everything right now, like, is it is going the route of just a portable Switch better than doing an HD version of a 3DS? What do you think?
I think we're gonna get a both, but I think this little Pro edition, they're gonna try to launch it with the new systems. That's my theory, because I think they want this little handheld one out for the new Pokemon game. Because, handhelds and Pokemon go hand in hand together. I think that's
an excellent
why.
point.
I think that's why they missed their forecast for the 3DS this upcoming investors meeting, because they didn't have a new Pokemon game on it. Because last year we had Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. They're not technically new games, the third version, but those things still sold some systems.
Right.
This year we didn't have a holiday Pokemon game for the 3DS. It was all on the Switch, and we knew how crazy that one did. 10 million.
Are you shocked by that number?
Insane. I'm mostly shocked by Japan's number, because this is probably the most awkward sentence I've had said in my life about Pokemon and Japan, because their numbers were like really low for a Pokemon game. Like, they did not like show up at all. It was mostly the West, like us and Europe, pulling these heavy numbers. It's again good because it's a different style. It's going to be like a different branch. I don't see them dropping it now after this 10 million mark. And, it's still going to go up. We probably get a couple more million out of it. But, yeah, I think they're going to focus on this little handheld one for that. And if we get Animal Crossing this year, too, man, a lot of people like New Leaf because it's portable. People pour in hours just because it's portable.
Yep.
I mean, we had that grandma who did, 5,000 hours.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, something almost 4,000 hours or whatever, like crazy.
Yeah.
And I mean, look, if they want to really move, if we know Nintendo's not going to sell a Switch Mini or whatever at a loss, right? So if they can get that system coming in at $199, still turn a profit on it, but then bundle it with something like a Pokemon game that, for like a holiday bundle, now you're talking about those things flying off the shelves at like $260, and that's still $40 less than buying the actual Switch system itself. And I mean, look, when you have kids that aren't going to really, they don't need to hook it up to the TV, or I don't know I don't know anymore what a normal family situation is for like TVs and things like that, but there's going to be those scenarios where it's like, yeah, you still have the main family room TV and maybe one other one or something that the kids could play on, but now they're going to be in the room with a system that if they drop it on the floor or accidentally knock it off the couch or whatever the case may be, is hopefully going to be a little more durable. I mean, it seems like a win-win, and it seems like it could be the best fit rather than doing a successor to the 3DS just for the dual screens, because do they really need to compete with the Switch any longer? I think the reason the 3DS and the 2DS has done so well right now is because it's been such a low price point, and they can do these special edition ones that come out at a limited quantity and people eat them up.
Oh, easily.
But they haven't really been putting out any kind of software to really try to move that system.
It's like all the people moved on pretty much. Because like the last game announcement we got was Epic Yarn, and that's like what, March, May, whatever. After that, what do we have for that?
Well, isn't Kirby usually the swan song?
Yeah, it's usually the song. A lot of people thought it was going to be the Battle Royale thing from last year, but apparently it looks like it's going to be Epic Yarn. It's actually a good game. It's like the best non-Kirby game. So if you haven't played it, I would suggest it. But again, yeah, when Kirby's kind of like the kiss of death at the end of the handheld life system.
Yeah. Well, I mean, hey, the system's had a great run. It's had a great run. But I mean, you know, I'm all about it. Like seeing this little the little mini, right? That's just easier to carry around, and who knows? Maybe, I mean, I don't know if it'd be small enough to fit in your pocket or whatever. But the thing that's going to be interesting with it is like my preference would be that they keep, because if it's not something that's going to have removable Joy-Cons, you can now have a D-pad on the left. And my only concern, my only thought is if they really push for this, like, you know, Switch Pocket, if you will, I just hope they don't use like a circle pad for the sticks, but leave the sticks the same, because it's what helps the Switch shine, even though it's not quite as convenient to carry it around like in a pocket or whatever. The sticks make playing handheld that much better, in my opinion.
Yeah, I would not want a circle pad either. Like, I still have mine connected to the 3DS. You know, my thing's like day one, you know, he's an old fella. Because a lot of people I know, when they played a lot of Smash, especially on the 3DS, they took off their circle pad. They actually had to glue it back on, or just buy
yeah, they busted those things big time.
Yeah, it drove me crazy because they were showing pictures and everything. I'm like, how did you do this? I'm like, I was playing Smash. I'm like, I play Smash too. That's not my system. They're like, well, Mel, you're not winning. I'm like, okay.
You're not winning by not breaking it. What is your problem?
Yeah. I mean, it was true, but still, I mean, you know, we shouldn't be using circle pads in like the year 2019. You know, that's not a preference anybody wants. But
I'm hoping. But there, I mean, look, there's that possibility if they really go for that pocket route. You know, like something you could throw in your. Think about like the PSP, right? Like, I don't want that style of stick personally.
People want that shape, but they don't want that circle pad, because no one liked it then. Like, everybody complained about the nub on the PSP.
Yeah, it was very bizarre. I mean, it was nice that it was there, just to be able to, you know, not have to use the D-pad for like some of these 3D games. But at the same time, like, I hope, like, and maybe they sell this thing with some kind of a case, or, you know, I don't know what they end up doing. I just hope they don't. I hope they leave, and I wonder if they would have to. Like, I don't know the logistics and everything like that, but like, when it comes to having the game developed, like, you think it would just be easier if they were just using the stick and not having to use like the circle pad or that kind of stuff. So hopefully that is the case. But who knows? It's all speculation. We've been hearing this rumor though since last year, right? There was some, like, I believe it was like Japanese analysts saying that there would be a modified Switch by this year. And I mean, look, middle of the year, the Kirby comes out, and that pretty much ends everything for the 3DS, 2DS. And then come this holiday, now there's the Switch Mini, Switch Pocket, Switch Less, whatever. But I mean, I think for some people, if because I know you play handheld a lot.
Yeah, see, yeah, usually I would be all over this thing. It's just, if it doesn't switch, and if I can't remove those Joy-Cons, I don't want it. I don't care if it's smaller, if it has a better battery, or if it's lighter. I need those things, because those things are equally as important to me. But I know for the majority of the handheld users, they literally don't care. They just want something all together, and something smaller they can throw in a bag, kind of thing.
What about the D-pad though? Would that be more appealing to you?
I mean, I'm personally okay with the split. I mean, it's not my personal first choice, but I can live with it.
Gotcha.
Because right now I can just order my own D-pad and put it together, or buy it from someone who can put it together if I really wanted a D-pad. But
well, yeah, they have that aftermarket Joy-Con that you can just set on,
yeah, because I can do that now if I wanted.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to wait for this revision if it has one.
The other thing I wonder about is games like Mario Party really couldn't even be played.
You would have to buy Joy-Cons. Like, you would have to buy another set of Joy-Cons to play it.
Or they have to update the game.
Yeah. Which do you think is more likely for them to do? And that's another thing, too, because I just got those Splatoon Joy-Cons. Like, I can't use them if... Like, I can use them. It's just, it wouldn't be on the handheld anymore. I have to take them out and put it on the tabletop, and that's really silly. Like, I want to use my spiffy Splatoon ones.
Oh yeah. Did you pick up the grip for it too, so they match?
Not yet. I mean, it's coming eventually. I don't want to, but I know it's.
I love it.
But
love it.
Because for the Joy-Cons, if you buy a new set of Joy-Cons, it's kind of like you have a special edition system, pretty much. Because that's the first thing you see when you look at the Switch, like face first, Mm-hmm. You would actually have to turn the background, like, oh yeah, I just have a plain regular one. But you can fool yourself for a little bit of time. But you can't do that if it's like just all together. It's like, oh, I only have a gray one, and they come out with like a purple. Like, oh, I want that. I have to buy that one now and transfer all my stuff, because we do this like 3 or 4 times during the lifespan of a system.
I don't know what you're talking about. All right. Okay. Well, hey, you ready to wrap this thing up?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So I know you have a vast list of all the places people can find you. Why don't you go ahead and share those with us now?
My vast list of 2 places, basically. Really 1 place. It's the Discord, which is N64Josh. We're popping up in there. A lot of friendly people. The other day we were talking about pancakes or like slushies and Slurpees and all that stuff. Big life-changing moments. And I'm also on this other little show. We Like Indies. Maybe that's the name. I don't know anymore. But apparently I'm on there talking about some little indie stuff. So yeah, that's all the places you can find me.
How many episodes do you have out now?
We have 5, so yes, we're on Spotify.
Oh.
For everyone who's asking.
I've seen some messages. When's it going to be on Spotify? That's We Like Indies. You can search for it on iTunes, Google Play, and Podbean. Anywhere else people can find you?
No, those are pretty much that's my stuff.
Okay. All right. Cool. Guys, if you want to follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, YouTube, it's all N64Josh. Right. The hub for everything is n64josh.com. You can check out articles. One of the things I think I'm going to start opening up n64josh.com to writers to start getting news articles, Nintendo news articles on there. So if that's something that you have experience with, hit me up with a DM on Twitter, and I'd like to see some of your work. And who knows if that's something that you are interested in doing. Hopefully it can help maybe promote anything that you are working on. So if you're interested in that, hit me up. Like I said, on Twitter, my DMs are open, or you can email me, info@n64josh.com. So with that, you can follow this show at the NPowercast on Twitter. Show notes are available at n64josh.com/NPC174. You can email this show. You got questions, comments, npc@n64josh.com. And if you'd like to get yourself a free book from Audible, go to audibletrial.com/NPC. The chair I'm sitting in from OPC, go to n64josh.com/OPC. You automatically save $10 at checkout. And I do have a Patreon, patreon.com/n64josh. For just $1, you can get yourself an extra podcast each month. Like Mel said, come hang out in the Discord, n64josh.com/Discord. We have a Facebook group, n64josh.com/Facebook group. And if you can rate and review on iTunes, we greatly appreciate it. It helps keep the show in the top 200. And we want to get as many eyes and ears as we can on the show. Thanks, guys. See you later. Bye now.